If a wild animal ever learned how to fight, it would look exactly like this man. They call him the Iron Man, but he's not made of steel. He's built from pain, pressure, and an obsession with destruction. Over 270 wins, 0 fear, and a style so aggressive, even elite champions crumble under the pressure. He laughs in the face of danger, walks through punches like they're nothing, and then turns the ring into a war zone. But behind the violence is a story nobody talks about. How did a shy kid from a forgotten village become the most feared fighter in Muay Thai history? This is the unbelievable rise of Rodtang Jitmuangnon, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why legends are scared of him. Rodtang didn't grow up wanting to be famous. He didn't dream of belts, trophies, or stadium lights. All he wanted was a way out. Born in the small province of Phatthalung, Thailand, Rodtang was the 8th of 10 siblings in a family that could barely afford daily meals. Life was about surviving the next day. Nothing more, nothing less. He wasn't always the fearless warrior we know today. In fact, as a child, Rodtang was painfully shy, quiet, reserved. He avoided conflict, hated confrontation, and barely showed any signs of aggression. But in a poor village with no real options, things change fast. At the age of 7, Rodtang was introduced to Muay Thai, not because he wanted to be a fighter, but because it was one of the few ways he could help put food on the table. By 10, he stepped into the ring for his first professional bout. He didn't fight for pride, he fought for survival, and when he got that first small amount, barely enough to buy a week's worth of rice, he realized that Muay Thai could be more than just a way to stay alive. It could be his path out. He trained relentlessly in a humble local gym, but his ambition grew too big for his hometown. So he packed up and moved to Bangkok, joining the legendary Jitmuangnon gym. There, among Thailand's best warriors, the quiet village boy transformed. He wasn't just fighting anymore. He was becoming something else, something dangerous. This was the beginning of the Iron Man. By the time Rodtang turned 15, he wasn't just another fighter on the circuit. He was a problem, a storm in human form. He fought like he had nothing to lose because he didn't. Opponents would try to slow him down, but Rodtang never took a single step backward. He pressed forward with elbows, knees, and that signature left hook that had sent dozens to the canvas back home. That relentless pressure earned him a reputation. People started calling him the Iron Man, and he lived up to it. At the iconic Lumpini and Rodtang stadiums, he turned heads with his savage brawling style. He didn't dance, he didn't play games, he hunted. But what made him truly terrifying wasn't just the violence, it was his durability. He could eat clean shots, smile, and come forward like nothing happened. No fear, no hesitation, no quit. His rise was fast. He captured the Noi Stadium title and defended it multiple times. But for Rodtang, that belt wasn't the end. It was just a stepping stone. The real war was waiting outside Thailand, on a global stage, and Rodtang was ready to bring his storm to the world. September 22nd, 2018, a date that changed everything. Rodtang Jitmuangnon stepped into the One Championship ring for the first time, facing Sergio Wilson, a hard-hitting Dutch Suriname kickboxer known for his knockout power. Many thought Rodtang would finally get exposed outside of Thailand, that he'd crumble under international rules, big lights, and unfamiliar pressure. They were wrong, dead wrong. From the opening bell, Rodtang walked through Sergio's best shots like they were love taps. He bullied him around the ring, pressed forward with elbows, knees, and that signature left hook that had sent dozens to the canvas back home. And when Sergio tried to trade, he got dropped hard. It wasn't just a win, it was a statement. The Iron Man had arrived on the global stage, and he wasn't playing games. Fans around the world were stunned. Who was this Thai wrecking ball who smiled while getting punched in the face? Who dared his opponents to hit him harder? Who kept fighting like he had a second engine in his chest? That night, Rodtang wasn't just a Muay Thai fighter, he became an international phenomenon. And One Championship knew exactly what they had on their hands. A marketing goldmine with knockout power and unshakable charisma. But this was just the beginning. Rodtang's journey was about to go from violent to legendary. After his explosive debut, Rodtang didn't slow down. He went full throttle, transforming every fight into a war zone. His next victims didn't just lose, they got dismantled. On July 9th, 2017, Yang Ming from China learned the hard way. Rodtang dug into his liver with precision strikes, folding him like a chair. Commentators joked he cooked that liver Hannibal Lecter style, but there was nothing funny about the pain. Then came left hook from hell. Against Saknaranoi, one clean shot sent his opponent crashing.
face first into the canvas. No count, no debate, just darkness. And it didn't stop there. Mung Kolpech, same story. One hit, lights out. Rodtang was no longer just winning, he was terrifying people. Fans started calling him a Muay Thai Terminator. Always forward, no emotion, just destruction. Between 2017 and 2019, Rodtang stacked highlight reel knockouts like trophies. Every opponent who stepped up left the ring battered, broken, or carried out. And by the time he captured the Omnoy Stadium super featherweight title, there was no denying it. Rodtang wasn't just a fighter, he was a monster in 8-ounce gloves. And the world was watching. August 2nd, 2019. The fight that would define Rodtang's legacy. His opponent, Jonathan Haggerty, the slick British technician with sniper-like precision and a champion swagger. This wasn't just another brawl. This was a clash of styles. Chaos versus control, fire versus ice. From the opening bell, Haggerty controlled the distance with teep kicks and clean counters. Rodtang took them, all of them, and smiled. Then came round 3. Rodtang flipped the switch. He hunted Haggerty down with punishing body shots and hooks that echoed through the arena. Every strike was a message. I'm not here to compete. I'm here to break you. And break him he did. Late in the round, Rodtang landed a perfect 1-2. Haggerty collapsed. The crowd erupted. The Brits somehow beat the count, but the damage was done. Rodtang smelled blood and went berserk. Elbows, hooks, knees. By the time the final bell rang, the judges didn't even need to talk. Unanimous decision. And just like that, Rodtang Jitmuangnon became the one flyweight Muay Thai world champion. That wasn't just a belt. It was the moment he went from fan favorite to legend. After claiming the one championship belt, Rodtang wasn't just a Muay Thai legend, he became a global superstar. He wasn't fighting in small stadiums anymore. He was headlining international cards, featured on posters across Asia, Europe, and even the US. Fans who had never heard of Muay Thai suddenly knew one name, Rodtang, the Iron Man with the chin of granite and the heart of a warrior. He fought in packed arenas where thousands screamed his name, and he delivered every single time. Whether it was Joseph Lasiri, Walter Gonzalez, or Jacob Smith, they all brought their best. Rodtang sent them home with bruised ribs, bleeding foreheads, and shattered egos. But fame didn't slow him down. In fact, it made him hungrier. He began training like a machine. No days off, no distractions. His Instagram exploded. Sponsors lined up. He went from the dirt roads of Phatthalung to private jets and flashing lights. Rodtang wasn't just a fighter anymore. He was an icon. But no legend rises forever without a stumble.
On September 22, 2023, the unthinkable happened. Rodtang lost. His opponent, Superlick Kiatmun 9, a technician so precise he could dissect a fight, frame by frame. From the start, Rodtang brought pressure, power, and pace, but Superlick answered with elbows just as sharp, footwork just as fast, and timing that neutralized Rodtang's chaos. Blood poured down Superlick's face, but he stayed composed, sniping, countering, and controlling the rhythm. Rodtang kept walking forward like a tank, but for the first time, it wasn't enough. When the judges gave the nod to Superlick, the world was stunned. The Iron Man had finally been cracked. Critics started whispering, is the Rodtang era over? Has the sport evolved beyond brawlers like him? But Rodtang didn't respond with excuses. He went silent, back to the gym, back to the grind. Now, rumors swirl, a third clash with Jonathan Haggerty, a Superlick rematch, or a super fight with kickboxing phenom Nabil Annan. Whatever comes next, one thing's for sure, Rodtang's story isn't finished. It's just gearing up for a brutal, beautiful redemption. Rodtang may have tasted defeat, but he's far from done. In fact, the loss to Superlick might have been the spark he needed, because now, the Iron Man is dangerous in a new way. Not just a brawler, not just a crowd pleaser, but a fighter with something to prove. Whispers from the fight world say he's training harder than ever. No distractions, no noise, just pure focus. Some say he's reinventing his style, adding new tools, sharpening old ones, and the opponents lining up, Jonathan Haggerty, hungry for revenge in a trilogy, Nabil Annan, the lanky prodigy with deadly kicks, or a second shot at Superlick, unfinished business waiting to explode. Fans are calling for it, promoters are teasing it, and Rodtang, he's not saying much, just training, waiting, plotting. One thing is certain, when the bell rings again, the world will be watching. Because when Rodtang steps into the ring, it's never just a fight. It's a war, and the Iron Man is far from finished. Rodtang isn't just a fighter, he's a symbol.
a kid who came from nothing, born into poverty in southern Thailand, fighting not for fame, but to feed his family. And through sheer will, grit, and pain, he became a world champion, a superstar. But his story isn't just about the belts, the knockouts, or the brutal wars. It's about heart. Rodtang walks through fire every time he steps into the ring. He doesn't take a step back. He doesn't play it safe. He fights like every second matters, because for him, it always has. That's why fans love him. That's why arenas sell out when his name is announced. And that's why, win or lose, he'll always be remembered. Rodtang's legacy isn't just what he's done. It's how he's done it, with pride, with passion, and with a fighting spirit that refuses to die. The Iron Man isn't finished. He's just getting started. Rodtang's journey is living proof that warriors aren't born, they're forged. Forged in hunger, in pain, in every round where quitting was easier, but he chose war instead. So the next time you watch him fight, remember, you're not just watching a Muay Thai match. You're witnessing a man who turned struggle into spectacle and violence into victory. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Rodtang will reclaim his throne? Is the trilogy with Haggerty the next war on the horizon? Or will Superlick stand in his way once more? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button like it owes you money. Subscribe for more untold stories from the fight world, and join us next time, because we're just getting started.